This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 12. It says, "Put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering." Shalom, shalom, Akim. Before I begin, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Warash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim La, Allahayinawa Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Warash. Double honor to my elders and apostles of the great millstone, Horua, and who teach all time of the truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, salutations unto the hopeful elect, Wa'akwat, who are listening in truth and in sincerity. All right, I'm the brother Gabari Allah coming at you with another lesson. All right, and this lesson is going to be entitled, Consider, Put On as the Elect. Now, Lord willing through the Spirit, I start this new little, series where the title is going to be Consider, and then it's going to be something, something, whatever the Spirit allows, if the Spirit permits. But I got that word because it's like, you're considering, like you're deeply thinking about something. All right. Matter of fact, let me start off with that word, the edema of that word. All right. Because it's very important. All right. It says, consider, to fix the mind upon for careful examination, meditate upon, view attentively, scrutinize, not to be neglected of. All right. It says, reflect on, consider, study, from Latin, to look at closely, observe, probably literally, to observe the stars come together, heavenly body, star constellation. All right, so the word consider means, I just read it to you, carefully examine something. All right, so that's why the title is consider, such and such. All right. And these are not going to be very long because the whole purpose of this is for you to consider it. All right, for you to truly understand and meditate upon, for you to have the Spirit dive deeply into a certain subject for you. Right? These videos, these lessons, we do them for the true, sincere Akim, Wa'akwat, who are listening in truth and in sincerity. Those who are gonna truly consider. All right. That's why the elder apostles always say, truly understand what you're a part of. All right. And that word consider, I got from the elder out here, Manat Zak, right? Because that's what he says. He says, consider, he'll be like, consider this, or, he'll be like, consider that, that is something that we have to do. All right. So, the Spirit had me jump into that word consider. All right. So now that you understand what consider means, when you look at the title, it says what? Consider. All right. Put on as the elect. All right. Now I read to you Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. All right. Now, this is something that, I like to quote a lot. All right. Putting on as the elect. Okay. But let me read it again. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. It says, put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High. All right, now it's going to tell you what some of the characteristics of what an elect of the Most High will have. It says, holy and beloved. Holy means separate. All right, so you got to be separate. The scriptures say, be not unequally yoked together, roughly paraphrasing, It says, bowels of mercies, kindness, all right, humbleness of mind. Right, bro. You got to be kind to the Akim, to the fellow servant who's serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's not your servant. That's the servant of the Most High. That's a servant. That's a beloved brother right there. Whoever it may be, if they're in it in true and in sincerity, that's a beloved brother right there. It don't matter whether he just, started in this ministry. We're going to have those elect members, which I honestly, believe that the elect are already sealed. You know what I mean? But you're going to have those last minute believers, man. Okay? You don't know who that man could be. You don't know what, you don't know. That's why the scriptures tell us to be humble, right? Because the Lord hates a proudful individual. Now, does that mean, that if you're a newcomer, you can just put yourself in level with the elder? Hell no. You also have to understand your place in the ministry, right? Me, I'm still a babe, man. I'm still new in this ministry. I can't, walk around acting like I'm this and that, Fuck that. Scripture say what? Knowledge puffeth up, especially when you're newer in this ministry. That is something that you have to really understand and control. That'll be another lesson. Consider meekness, But it says bowels of mercies, right? And we see that the elders apostles are very merciful. Brothers are very merciful. The elders out here are freaking merciful. Brothers all around, in this ministry are merciful, man. They'll forgive and they'll whoever needs alms, they'll give alms. And I've seen them before my own eyes, man. The elder apostles and the brothers and the elders of Great Millstone are very, very kind and very merciful. Those are characteristics of the elect, man. You think an elect will just leave a brother high and dry? You think an elect will just, treat a brother like he's just some ordinary nigga in the world? Nah, man. An elect member will see another brother and he'll have the spiritual eyes to see that's not just a man. That's a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And if you can't see that and you just viewing, brothers as just ordinary individuals, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to take that up with the Lord, man. Because that's a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's not no ordinary individual. Especially if that man is of the elect, bro. Because we understand that the elect are higher than the angels, man. Okay? The elect, when they have their... It's beautiful, man. The elders was breaking it down Saturday on camp. They was breaking it down how the elect will have, abilities beyond, the angels and how they're going to have their place ranked above the angels, right under Yahushua, because Yahushua is going to have his own rank of his own. But we're going to be heirs of that kingdom, right? The elect will be heirs of that kingdom. Matter of fact, let me grab that. All right. Let me see. Yeah, there it goes. James chapter 2 and verse. I'll just get to the point, verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren. Hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith? Exactly, we are rich in faith. We may be poor in the sense of having material things, right? We don't have the newest Corvette. We don't got the newest car, and we don't have the baddest bitch on the block and this and that and the third and all that. But we're rich in the faith, though. All right, we have something that money cannot buy. All right, that's why Wisdom of Solomon, particularly the 7th chapter, I believe, goes very heavy into that. Maybe the 7th or the 9th chapter. But it goes very heavy into how riches are nothing compared to this wisdom, this knowledge that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has given us. And we know who Solomon is in the spirit. That's Yahushai. Right? So it says, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him. Exactly. All right. The Lord has promised us this. All right. And the Lord is not a liar. And the Lord does not change. Okay. So if he promised us something, it don't matter when he made the promise, he promised it. And that promise has not yet been fulfilled. That is going to be fulfilled when Yahushua cracks the skies, the elect get beamed up, and eventually, once the 2/3, get destroyed and they're going to be brought back via the elect, okay, and the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, right? Then the promise will be in fulfillment, all right? Because the promise is going to be fulfilled once Israel is in that state, because we're never going to get thrown down. It will be forever. Time will be a thing of the past for us. All right. Time is only valuable now because we don't have all of it, right? Once you have unlimited time, then there's not a value to us, okay? Because we're gonna just, if you sleep a whole year, right? That's why in this world, if you have a coma for like a year or two, it's gonna be devastating for you. You lost 2 years of your life. In the kingdom, you're gonna sleep for fucking 3 generations. It won't mean a damn thing, right? You're gonna wake up like, oh, shit. Like, hell, what time is it? Your kid who, when you fell asleep, was, barely born. You wake up, he's already a grown, you're like, oh, shit, cool. Time to do it again. It's gonna be nothing for you, right? So, yeah, man. So then now going back to, let me see, Colossians 3 and verse 12. Put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. Now, who has these characteristics, man? The men of Great Millstone and those who follow like-minded doctrine, because that's what the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone preach time, day in and day out. They are long suffering. There has not been a day where I was in this truth that the elder apostles have not been diligent and have not, have not been all of these things, so to speak. All right, they fulfill all of these things that are characteristics of the elect. Okay, because why? We are of the hopeful elect. Okay, and if you're following those who follow Yahushai, you're gonna be following Yahushai. Okay. It says, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. Exactly, man. Because and that goes to show you, man, that if you have that pettiness spirit on you, that what is that word? It starts with a P. Very you're so negative about everything, pessimistic. There you go. You're very pessimistic and can't nothing be good, and you just got that woe is me spirit, man. You through. Ain't nobody want to be around that, man. Constantly complaining. Yeah, we get it. We in hell. You know what I mean? You're not the only one in captivity, bro. You're not the only one who's been through stuff, man. The elder apostles, that's why I always refer to them, because they've been in this truth, man, 30 plus years, man. You think that there's something, you think that there's a specific event that you're going through, that the Lord specifically put you through, that no other brother or no other man has ever been through? You tripping, man. You bugging. You bugging, because you didn't go through anything that Job went through. I was going to say Job. You know what I mean? Job went to hell and back, man. It says, so yeah, man, be able to forgive, man. That's something that's a quality of the elect, being able to forgive another brother, man. I'm speaking to the Akim. It's not no Christian bullshit of forgiving Edomites, not. Because the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And that's in Revelations, I believe. Yeah, it's in Revelations. Alright? So fuck around with that bullshit, man. We speaking within the body. Alright? Because we understand 2/3 of our own people are gonna get destroyed. Alright? It says, verse 14, and above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Exactly. And the Akim are very charitable, man. Alright? Because nothing can get in the way of this ministry, bro. Nothing. To these niggas, money is everything, man. To us, it's just an asset, something that we need in this world. But to these niggas, money is everything, bro. Money is everything to these people. That's why it says for filthy lucre's sake. Because these niggas will do anything for fucking money, man. Look at our people selling their fucking behinds, man. They getting their butt played with, bro. It's funny, but that's just real, bro. It's not funny at the same time. You make fun of it because that's all you fucking can do. But that shit drives me crazy. Knowing our people sell their butts off, man. Grown ass, 200 plus pound, full of muscle freak athletes selling their behind, bro. You know what I mean? You got to be grateful that you have this ministry, bro. But, you know, that's pretty much all I got, man. Matter of fact, let me read 15. And let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts or mind, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Exactly, we are one body, man. All right? But that's pretty much all I had, man. Lord willing was edifying. Lord willing was uplifting. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. The bond aid again to my elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach well. With that, I say, Shalom.